Hello again, Bible lovers. Thanks for joining me today. Another Bible review here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Barron's Bible rankings on this Bible as well as just a brief review. In the link, I've got a link in the description below to my Barron's Bible rankings YouTube video that explains how that system works in detail. Bibles that are both portable and readable will score the highest in that system. So, those two things tend to be mutually exclusive. You find a Bible that's really readable, it's not very portable, and vice versa. They're a good all-around everyday use Bible, I think, score high in that system. This is a Crossway ESV Omega Thinline, 75th anniversary edition by Crossway. Very nice Bible. It's in black goatskin leather. Very nice cover. It's pretty good dimensions on the Bible. It does have somewhat of a larger footprint, but it's very thin, hence the Thinline title to it. They did a really good job with this. Crossway used Youngblood to print and bind this, which I think is a great idea. That's what Allen used forever, and they're the premier, high-end Bible printing and binding company out there. So I think Crossway made a good choice going to them. You can see it does have a stitched perimeter all the way around. It's a semi-yap style Bible. Pretty nice there. They did four ribbons, black and then different shades of brown, which I think is pretty cool. They're a thinner ribbon. They're not very wide, and they're not as thick and luxurious as you would find on an Allen, like this one here. This is the ESV one, and you can see by comparison these ribbons here. Very nice ribbons. They even cut them at an angle to make them look really nice, and they just do a good job with the attention to detail on that, whereas these you can see are they look sort of cheesy in comparison, but for a good reason, I think. And I think what that is that this is a thin line, so the paper's extra thin, and when you're using a bigger ribbon, it's going to tend to make impressions on the thinner paper here. So I think that's why they did that. But I think it's a good feature having 4 ribbons. 3's I think ideal, but 4, it makes this Bible unique. Very smooth goatskin. It's more of a pebbly grain. On the inside here, I believe this is going to be like a calfskin liner, but I'm not 100% on that. I can't find the specs on that, but it's definitely not like a synthetic material. They did a decent job with the way they wrapped the cover around here. It is stitched, so it's not glued, and the corners, you're not going to have the greatest attention to detail in the corners. They did this bottom corner pretty nicely, but if you look at this top corner, it's not as nice. You can see how it's kind of chunky there, and they didn't do the folds. They didn't pay as much attention to the folds on that, and then you're going to find the same on the back cover as well. If you get a Bible professionally done by Diego Caloca or Ben's Bibles, they do a really good job just paying attention to the detail in there, and that's something that you're not going to get with this. It's more of a mass-produced type Bible. Allen does a good job with their corners as well. But this is got the edge-lined cover here. You can see it's got the reinforced binding where the cover goes up underneath these 2 cardstock pages in the front. You can see the line right there that shows that, so it's not a paste down binding, which is good. It keeps it flexible and also reinforced at the same time. It is going to lay flat, so it's pretty nice lay flat Bible. You can see this is a dual column format with a 10-point font, so it's very readable. And I think the sort of the compromise on this is how do you make a Bible both portable and readable, and you can either go with a smaller font that's spaced out properly and kind of bold like Cambridge does in their Concord, or you can go, and that does keep the Bible, the overall Bible dimensions a bit smaller, or you can go with what they did here where they made the font bigger, but they made the paper thinner so that you're going to get a bigger, nice 10-point font with a bigger font. You're going to get a bigger footprint this way, but it is thinner. So in terms of portability, this works great for if you're going to be carrying around in a backpack, because it doesn't add to the bulkiness of the backpack. So it's a little bit harder to handle, like in one hand, than like a Allen ESV 1 or a Cambridge Concord would, but you know what, I think they did a really good job with the compromise on this one, because it's not as floppy and big as the Allen ESV New Classic Readers. That one is a little bit wider footprint all the way around, and so it does tend to, it's harder to hold in one hand like this. And then that one has some minor introductions to the chapters, whereas this one's just basic reference text, and it does have a cross-reference system here. They put them all at the bottom right-hand corner or with that, and what that does is it allows these columns to be a bit wider, so it does aid in the ease of reading. Now this is line matched. Some awesome feature. It helps with the readability greatly, and when you're forced to use a thinner page to keep the Bible thinner, and you want to use a bigger font, you're going to have to make the pages, you know, thinner. So you're not looking at like a 36 GSM paper, which I think is the ideal thickness of a Bible paper, and that's what you're going to find in the Allens, in the New Classic Readers, and also in the ESV 1. But I have to say that those two are not line matched. The Allen did not line match those, and Crossway did here, which I think was an excellent idea, and it does almost, it really makes me forget about how thin these pages are because of the line matching. Yellow and black striped headband, which is nice. And then in terms of features, it's just got your basic ESV features, the 8 maps that you see in all these ESV crossways. And then it does have the weights and measures right at the end behind Revelation, and then a basic small concordance on it, which is helpful because this is the Thinline edition. They used a smaller concordance, but it does have 10,000 scripture references and more than 2,400 word entries. There's the weights and measures right there. They did a red under gold art gilt. It's like a salmon color, not as bright red as you're going to find like on the Allens. So it just depends on your preference there. I like it. I like both. I mean, I like the bright red that you're going to find on the Allen like this. But if you don't want it to really stand out that much and you don't like the big, you know, the real bright red like that, this is more of a subtle kind of conservative salmon color, which is, I think actually is perfect for this Bible with the black and then the brown, the black cover and the brown ribbons. If it was a blue cover, a brighter red might look kind of nice. In terms of ranking this Bible, so there's 7 categories. The first category being portability. This Bible measures 9 3/4 tall, 6.5 wide, and then exactly 1 inch thick. So that's where the portability comes in, is the inch thickness on here, which is very, very nice. It opens up at 11 1/8, so 11 1/8 from page end to page end. So very, very easy to teach from, and carry around. Better than the Allen ESV readers because it is just slightly smaller. So 5 for portability. And then for readability, it also gets a 5, and that's because of the line matched text. See if I can get this to focus here for you. Yeah, there you go. You can see it's very beautifully done. The cover gets a 4.5. It is goatskin, handmade, Smith's own, very soft. And it's got a nice little headband like I showed you. For design and creativity, it gets a 4. You know, it's good typeset. There's art gilt edges, and it is consistent. It's not real fancy like you're going to find in a Quintel, Schuyler Quintel, but decent. So I give it a 4 there. Beauty and craftsmanship's a 4.5. Overall, it's got, you know, the raised ribs here on the spine, which I like. The spine is balanced. Holy Bible, the logo, ESV logo there, the edition, and then the Crossway logo down the bottom. Rounded edges, very nicely done there. So it's beauty and craftsmanship's really, really high up there with the 4.5. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 was just because I think they could have done a little bit better job with these ribbons. I would have preferred maybe just a little bit of a more attention to detail, like the cut on the end there. If they angle cut those, and then maybe during just more of a high-end ribbon, I think that would give it a 5 in my book. Unique features is a 3. Again, it's just got maps, basic maps, nothing real special. And then a 3 for rarity. It's very easy to find this Bible. You can find it at bookstores, evangelicalbible.com, christianbooks.com. And on eBay, of course. So overall 28.5, and that's the Crossway Omega. Thinline Reference Edition. I hope you enjoyed the review. Have a blessed day.